This Friday night, it's war. There are now just 9 days to go until the biggest day on the AFL calendar, and today is day 37 of teaching you something about the AFL to help make you a new AFL fan. This is it. This is not just any ordinary preliminary final, not just any ticket to the last Saturday in September, but it is another chapter added to one of the AFL's greatest modern day rivalries. Geelong versus Hawthorn. History, hatred, heartbreak. This is as big as it gets. These clubs aren't just rivals, they define each other's histories. You've got to go all the way back to 1989, the most brutal grand final in AFL VFL history. These two sides went blow for blow, literally, but the Hawks held on by just 6 points to claim another premiership in a game that broke bodies but made legends, which is where it all began. Fast forward to the 2000s, and in 2007 the Cats broke their 44-year premiership drought, and the next year only lost one game throughout the regular season, all but certain to make it back-to-back in the grand final. That was until they came up against the Baby Hawks, pulling off one of the greatest modern-day grand final upsets, breaking one of their own premiership droughts and creating history in the process. Directly after the game, Hawthorn president Jeff Kennett had this to say.
They don't have the psychological drive that we have. We've beaten Geelong when it matters.
And born the Kennett curse. Another twist in the tale between these two clubs. From that day the Hawks beat the Cats in the 2008 grand final, the Cats went on an 11-game winning streak against the Hawks. Multiple goals after the siren. 9 of the 11 games decided by under 2 goals. It just kept going the Cats' way. That was until the 2013 preliminary final, almost 5 years on from that day in 2008, where the Hawks, in the big occasion, stepped up to break the curse in historic fashion, which spurred them on to go and win the next 3 premierships in a row. And ever since, even though the curse hasn't been reborn, the fixtures between these two every single season is just pure cinema and ones that you cannot miss. And the Cats, the masters of consistency, they've rebuilt, reloaded, their veterans still stand tall, and their young guns are paving the way for the new Geelong. Hawthorn, the reborn giant from nowhere. The start of last season, they were 0-5. Now, they could be the first 8th place team to make the grand final in history. Sam Mitchell, the premiership captain turned coach. He's brought the swagger back, and the kids are electric. And after heartbreak in last year's finals, this year they're hungrier than ever. So this isn't just a prelim. This is legacy. It's everything you could want from a football game. Over 95,000 people will storm the MCG tomorrow for 2 heavyweights that hate losing to each other, especially when a grand final position is up for grabs. It's Friday night, it's under the lights, it's Geelong versus Hawthorn, and who is it going to be that books their spot in next week's big dance?